Good afternoon, I'm Christine Pei. We are interrupting New Day Northwest to bring you live coverage from Seahawks headquarters as the team formally introduces Mike Macdonald as their new head coach. We first brought you this breaking news around this time yesterday. Let's take you inside the Seahawks headquarters in Renton right now, where they are just about to begin their news conference. Listen in.
All right. Well, welcome. Exciting day. Welcome to Mike Macdonald Day. Here you go, Dave. So much excitement, right? That's the word for right now. It's been a long process, but I'm so excited for the former players, the current players, the players, our future players that'll be coming in, everybody in the building, the 12s, the Seahawks community. I mean, just everybody. You know, it's the coaches, like the coaches that are going to be coming in here, that we already started working on and everything. Just so excited for everybody because this is the future right here. This is where it's going. And I think you're going to learn in getting to know Mike that he's a special dude. And, you know, the process was awesome. Obviously want to thank Jody, you know, for her guidance and leadership. You know, we had a clear directive. Chuck and Bert, everybody that was involved. We had 19 people do our DEI training so that all the candidates could feel everybody in the building and know how important it is to all of us and what it means to be supporting the new head coach and especially all the players, because at the end of the day, it is all about the players. And, you know, I think about the process. I think about faith in people. And so my mom would always tell me, you know, Johnny, God helps those who can't help themselves. And what a cool deal, because, wow, I can't even remember now, the days are running together, but Sunday before they played, I was at church, and, you know, people were probably looking at me like, wow, that guy's really, you know, been sinning a lot or something. That guy's praying his tail off right now. Because I wanted the Ravens to lose and I wanted the Lions to lose. And so, yeah, I you know, it's kind of probably creepy for Mike, but we've been blessed to be around over the years, a lot of talented people throughout the National Football League and a lot of connections. And, you know, it was really cool to do all the research and on Mike, and I think I might have creeped his beautiful bride, Steph, out a little bit too. Where's Steph at? There you go. Thank you so much for this leap of faith. We've it's been quick, but it's awesome. But yeah, the people. It's just really special for all the people and involved. And at the end of the day, it comes down to people and relationships and trust. And for this, it happened quickly with Mike. With Mike, I would say that. You know, what I've learned from preparing for all this is that Mike is a learning networker, not a climbing networker, and there's a huge difference there. This has happened quickly for him, but when you sit down with him and you get to meet him, you understand why. The whys of, wow, he knows that guy, he knows that guy, he knows this guy. Like, I've been in the league for 30-some years, and we know a ton of the same people, and so that really stood out. And then through the process too, I listened to a podcast where a gentleman was saying, you know, it was a hiring thing, and they got into hiring, and you know, this and that, and it didn't matter what industry it was. It's all about who's changing the marketplace, who's going to change the marketplace, and it just hit me like, okay, when we're interviewing all these people, who's going to change the marketplace? And the product is the product. He's done it. You've seen it. And that's why he was Assistant Coach of the Year. You know, I've had two really strong feelings leaving Pittsburgh several years ago. Like, we will never, ever look like that again. I think it might have been our first year or second year here. I can't remember. It was not cool. And leaving Baltimore this year. And that was not cool. But congratulations. So on behalf of Jody Allen, and you know, all the 12s and everybody that's near and dear to my heart in this building, I want to introduce Mike Macdonald as the new head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. So, congratulations.
Thanks, John. This is a humbling feeling that I'm feeling right now in front of everybody, and I want to, especially everybody in the organization in the back. This is pretty cool. Just it feels like we're in this thing together, you know, and this is a responsibility that my wife and I we take extremely seriously. We from afar, you know, we're East Coast folks, but you know we've grown up on the East Coast, but we do have family out here in the area, and we've seen this organization operate from afar, and I've had nothing but respect for the ownership, especially John, how they've operated, Coach Carroll, the ability to compete for championships at a consistent pace, and how they play, and the spirit of the players has been something that I respect a lot. And going through the process and meeting John and the leadership team, the first thing that really popped to me was the parallels of the organization that I've been working for 10 years, and where I've really grown into the person and the man and the coach that I am today. And that was extremely appealing to me. And to hear John talk about people and how important that is was the driving force of why we want to be here. And it is a leap of faith. But this is a special city, and this is a great football city, man. And we got the best fans in the world. And I understand where this organization wants to go. And I feel like we're aligned on how we want to get there. And I'm just juiced to go do it. And there's going to be no secret thing of, you know, scheme or secret plays that are going to get us there faster. It's going to take a lot of hard work by finding the right people and doing it the right way, treating people the right way, building everybody up throughout the building. I want everybody to feel like they're a part of this mission. And it's going to take all we got one day at a time. And it's that simple. It's one conversation at a time. It's one relationship at a time. And I'm just, my wife and I have been talking, just like, this feels like home already. You know, it feels like God put us in this position. We prayed for clarity throughout this whole process, and it became very clear that this is where we're supposed to be. So we're just extremely excited to go along with the theme of just to get to work and to get to know everybody. I mean, this is the second day on the job. Feels like I've been here 2 months already, you know, but I'm just really excited that it's started already. You know, we've gotten to work. We've already contacted, you know, a lot of coaches that we're very interested in talking with, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But before I take any questions, you know, I'd love to take some time and thank people that have helped us get to this point. I've referenced her already, but my wife Stephanie is absolute rock star. I love you. She's you'll get to know her, and this city will fall in love with her. She is a absolute rock star and a saint of a human. So thank you. My family, my dad, he is a great man, and he has taught me integrity, humility, and determination, and doing things the right way, and that'll pay off in the long run. So thank you, Dad. My mom has taught me, if you're going to do something, you better do it right, and that stuck with me for a long time. So thank you, Mom. And my two heroes are my two older sisters, Maggie and Kate. Kate actually has lived here in the city for quite a while. She lives in Texas now, but I've been following their example my whole life, and they're pretty incredible people, and thank you. The Ravens organization is a special organization. There's a lot of things that these two organizations share in common, and I'd just be remiss not to mention some of those folks, starting with Steve Bisciotti and his wife Renee, Ozzie Newsome. I always tell the story that my first week as an intern, I was walking down the hall, and Ozzie saw me, and you know, and that was pretty daunting for a 20-something-year-old intern. And Ozzie knew my name, and he took investment into me and my experience, and that's something that'll carry through this organization. We want everybody to feel vital. and vital to the mission and feel invested in. And so, Ozzie, thank you for who you are as a person, and really the mark that you've left on this league, and all the people in the Ravens organization. Eric DaCosta, first class, and really all the people in the Ravens organization. It's hard to name everybody, but you guys know who you are, and I've been in contact with some of you. But those are relationships that we'll have for the rest of our lives. And there's some special people in that building, and that's a special community, very similar to here. So I look forward to building those relationships with everybody in our building now, and there'll be something that we'll be able to cherish, moving forward. And finally, well, not finally, but with the Ravens, the Harbaugh family, Jim, Coach Jack, Jackie, especially John, and his wife Ingrid. Talk about taking a leap of faith and investing in a young buck like me back in the day, and having the guts to give me opportunities over time, and put his name on the line, and his investment in me, John Harbs. I really appreciate that, and obviously we talked about it, but our relationship's very, very, very special to me, and so thank you for your investment in my wife and I. And then, moving here to Seattle, Jody Allen, just want to thank her for trusting the process and empowering John to go through it, and having the patience, to trust the fact that they were interested in me. Thank you for hanging in there. Hopefully, I was wishing that we'd have to wait a couple more weeks, but it did happen fast. But you felt like it was a first-class operation, and her investment in this city and how much she cares about this team became very obvious to me, and that was very appealing. And then this man right here, John Schneider, I want to thank you for how you do what you do, and the person that you are. And I know our relationship is very young, but when you feel a connection with someone, and you feel like your values are aligned, that's a powerful thing. And so I think we're going to make an amazing team and a amazing partnership, and I'm really excited to work with you for a long time. So thank you.
Good stuff. Thank you.
And then and the players, both at the Ravens and here in Seattle. My guys in the Ravens, we've talked to a couple. I'll reach out to you, when my phone stops buzzing and the fire hose turns off a little bit. But I hope you understand that this is why we do what we do, is about the players. We're trying to build something special. And the players are the ones that drive the bus, and they lay it on the line. And the guys on our team last year, they did that. And I just really thank you. And again, relationships, man, I'm honored and humbled that I was able to coach you for the time that we had, and our relationships will last for a long time. And then our players here and the players that we'll be able to coach for the Seahawks, man, I hope you understand that you're the driving force behind everything that we do. And I can guarantee you this: you will get everything out of myself and our coaching staff every day. And we will not stop until we want to get to where we get, okay? And I hope that's very clear to you. And you're the first thing that goes through our mind when we make decisions. And that's the only way to do it. That's the only way to win. And I'm just very excited for the opportunity. Again, thanks, John. Thank you for your time. And we'll take questions, I guess.
There's so many different things, but being worth the wait, what was it before you ever met Mike that made this worth the wait for the interview and the hype?
The product, really. Watching the film, feeling their defense that day, being there in that stadium, and then all the relationships. And thanks, Jen, because there's so many people that really opened their hearts, and they didn't have to share all the information with me that they did. And so to all you people, you guys know everybody, tons of people in this league, and cheerleaders. We found out a lot of stuff, and so we were doing our due diligence, and I would say that the background, and then we in scouting we call it checking boxes, right? And then sitting down in person, we had a lot of great candidates. Guys did a great job, and people in this building felt them, and it's just I don't know how to describe it other than it's a feeling, it's a connection. There's clarity. And then everything that everybody says about his great reputation came to life very quickly, and it was very evident. And they drove all the way from Baltimore down to Dallas and jumped on a plane and came out here, and the rest is history.
Well, you
He's a
just heard
disruptor.
live from the
He's a-
Seahawks' new head coach, Mike Macdonald. Macdonald calling his role humbling as a team welcomes him to Seattle. Seahawks general manager John Schneider speaking right now, calling him the future of the team. The conversation is ongoing today. We are carrying the entire press conference live right now on King5.com and on our digital platforms. We will also check in with King5's Jake Garcia for reaction. That is coming up on King5 News at noon. And Paul Sylvie will have an exclusive sit-down with Macdonald later on this evening at 6:30, right after nightly news, plus more to come all day on King5. For now, we'll take you back to regular programming.
The Ravens and John Harbaugh, the Harbaughs, and Jim, and then Michigan. I mean, fantastic.
John, obviously, the football acumen is obviously there. What about Mike as a person, as a leader, convinced you he's ready for this, everything that comes with being a head coach?
Yeah, we weren't talking like schematics and moving, shifting and how the coaches talk to do the coach speak like this. We didn't even get into that. It was communication, leadership, clarity. I think that's it jumps off with Mike. I talked to several people that had interviewed him already, and they're like, "Wait till you look in this guy's eyes, man. He's there. He's present. He's on it." And he was, and everybody in that room felt it.
John, you said it happened fast.
Sorry, is that Bob? Sorry.
You said it happened. You said it happened fast. What can you tell us about the process when you guys first made contact and kind of how that all went?
Well, Patrick Mahomes was doing his thing, and I apologize again. I've apologized to him several times. So to be able to, send in our slip, we went through our situation. I don't know. It feels like several months ago now, but we got through that process, and then there's a lot of things that league office you need to take care of. Mike and the Ravens and the Niners did such a great job. They had the first seed, so you can only speak to those individuals until that Monday. So, we went through a job description that needs approval, all of our DEI training, and then organizing ourselves. What are we looking for? The clarity of our questions, and how are we going to find the answers as quickly as we can. So we were unable to interview Mike on Monday. So, like I said, we were just really hoping that we'd be able to, if the Lions lost and the Ravens lost, it wasn't personal at all. Yeah, it was. But no, we'd be able to, fly to. We had a plan in place to fly to Detroit. We flew to Detroit on Monday night or Monday afternoon. Flew to Baltimore Monday night. Had our interview with Mike at 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning, and he crushed it. And we flew back here, and it was on. Tracy and I picked Steph and Mike up at the airport and had a great evening. When, like Mo says, we chopped it up a little bit. Hung out for a while, and it was just natural, easy, clear.
John, what if Baltimore had won and was playing in the Super Bowl? Would you have waited?
Congratulations. What do you mean?
You would have had to wait it, and you would have had to wait until after the Super Bowl to interview.
Yeah, the reputation was really strong. So, I can't tell you 100%, but the reputation was so strong, we didn't have to get there. So I don't have to answer that question because we didn't have to get there.
Mike, you obviously have talked to other teams through this process and in previous years. What about the conversation with John made you feel like this was the right opportunity?
Well, like I said, there are opportunities to talk with teams before, and understanding there possibly was interest, but given the time frame and when that opportunity would come. But our mentality going in was just let's go with an open mind, and if there's a great opportunity with a great partnership that feels like it's the right thing, then that'd be something you're willing to pursue. And then we had some great conversations throughout the process. But like I said, when we started talking about vision and how we wanted to play and the direction that I felt like how I'd like to take the team and how that paralleled what they saw, it just became very clear that the thing that that was the thing that you're looking for. So it made sense at that point.
Mike, your defense obviously has been phenomenal your last 3 years as a coordinator, but I think a lot of people are curious about your offensive philosophies. You played for two guys that like to run the ball a lot. Is it fair to say that that's kind of your offensive philosophy as well, or do you feel kind of differently about that from John and Jim?
Yeah, the percentage of when you run the ball and how much and all that, like that's all adjustable. To me, it's going to mirror our football team. We're going to be a physical football team. We're going to have answers. We're going to try to be explosive and really do it and build it around the players that we have. We're going through the process right now of who's going to be, helping design that and ultimately calling plays. So to have a specific answer for you, what it's going to look like, I can't do that now, but that'll come into focus here sooner than later.
Mike, what made this a leap of faith that you mentioned, and how close were you to perhaps just staying with what you already knew in Baltimore?
Well, I had a great job. We had a great job in Baltimore. I mean, a lot of, like I referenced earlier, there's a lot of great people there. I loved our players, and you're going to always have a chance to be successful. So we have a lot of family on the East Coast and things like that. So moving out west and moving away from those folks, it's a leap of faith.
Mike, your motto welcome to Seattle first off.
Thanks.
So you had a motto in Baltimore, play like a Raven. Do you transfer that to Seattle, play like a Seahawk, and what exactly does that mean to you?
No, we're not gonna translate that. But what the spirit of that is, we'll come over and we'll be able to manifest that. As we have conversations with the coaches and John and try to get our vision, aligned and moving forward, and obviously get input from the players as well of what's important to them. What do they want to see when we turn on the tape? So we're not going to translate that saying over. No.
Hey, Mike, you obviously have been calling plays for Baltimore and Michigan in the last 3 years. Is that something that you still plan on doing now that you're head coach?
Yeah, right now the plan is I'll be calling the plays. Now, depending on who the defensive coordinator is and when that becomes that, ultimately I'm the head coach of the football team, so I want to coach the football team. And right now, the best way that we can win is, in my opinion, is for me to call the plays. And then when it becomes obvious that someone else is ready to go and we see it the same way, then we'll make that change.
A lot of coaches sitting in this new head coach chair would be taking over a team that won 2, 3, 4 games the year
Right.
before. What about this roster do you like that you're taking over a team that won 9 games last year and almost made the playoffs? Does that make this an attractive place?
Yeah, that was definitely a part of it. We went against Seattle this year, and there's a lot of great players on this team. I mean, we've done a great job of drafting. It's a young core, and so we got a great opportunity to build these guys and build a really competitive team sooner than later.
From a defensive standpoint, you talk about the importance of players. What stood out to you while you were interviewing for this job about the players you're going to be inheriting on this defense and where they may fit with your scheme?
Well, there's a combination there. There's a couple, you were watching the defense on a lot of crossover tape throughout the season, so you realize that there's a lot of talent there, and there's obviously guys that have great reputations that are on the team as well. Don't know a lot of them personally, so I'm interested about who they are as people and kind of what drives them there. And then there's a lot of guys, like Spoon, guys that we did on that we evaluated throughout the draft, and guys we're really excited about, but obviously weren't able to be picked when we were picking in Baltimore.
Mike, can you tell us about the origin of your defense, how it came together, what it drew from, et cetera?
Yeah, this is an interesting answer from if John Harbaugh is listening, but it's something that we built in Baltimore with the coaches that we have, and you're going to draw inspiration from things that you think is from schemes and people that you feel like are doing some cool stuff out there and have answers for things. And I think going to college and being able to reach out to a lot of different programs, and there's a lot of different programs throughout the country that I really respect, and coaches that were really helpful, translating the game to college. And I think what that did is it streamlined a lot of the things that we were trying to do at the pro level. And so it's just a constant evolution of kind of the basics, the fundamentals that Rex Ryan and Jim Johnson have done, 20, 25 years ago, and then all the great coordinators that we've had in Baltimore that we've been able to evolve the scheme. And ultimately, the coaches that we had last year, we decided, we took it a certain direction given the players we had. So I'd say it's adaptable. But we're always going to be aggressive on how we want to do it. People ask about our blitz rates and all that. That's just not important to me. It's about putting yourselves in positions to win the down, affecting the quarterback, putting your guys in position to have success.
Mike, you have such a unique background. How did you get attracted to the defensive side of the ball in the first place? Why was that where you're at?
That's a great question. I don't know really the answer to that. I think, well, initially when I got the internship in Baltimore, they told me I was going to be on offense, and I showed up and they said I was going to be on defense. So that's probably the easiest question to answer. But I think it just fits my mentality, frankly. It's offensive guys. Sometimes it isn't really. We don't get along too well. But but yeah, I just started when I coached high school football at Cedar Shoals and had an affinity for the linebacker position, and it went from there.
John, you mentioned the Baltimore game and not wanting to feel that way again coming off the field. Was there something you saw in him or in how they played and all that that made that really stuck out with you that day at all?
Yeah, I think talking to, there's a feeling that we all were there and felt it, right? But in talking to the players, several of the offensive players were like, what was that? What just happened, right? And, I've tried to pick the players' brains, here and there throughout the season, and that totally stood out. And I forget, which player it was, but they said, they're like, who was that? What was that? Who was that? They don't. A lot of players aren't like, who's the coordinator over there? What was that all about?
For Mike, you're obviously replacing a legendary coach here in Pete Carroll, and I'm just wondering, have you crossed paths with him much? Have you developed any kind of relationship with him? And how do you go about kind of injecting your own personality and style and philosophy in your place when there was someone who's there for as long as he was?
Yeah, I've never met Pete. I've always admired him from afar. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. His track record, he's probably a Hall of Fame coach. Pete has a great personality, but it's his and it's authentic to who he is as a person. And I think that's why the players resonate with him and why he has such a great reputation and his track record is what it is. I have a different personality, and you'll get to know me, but my plan is to be myself every day. And you're just going to get me, So it's not a facade. There's no alter agendas or anything like that. But it's all about what's the best interest for the team, what's the best interest for the players, and how we can be successul. And there's a sense of humor in there. I promise. Some people like it more than others, but it'll come out. But it's just if you're trying to be somebody that you're not, it's one, it's exhausting, and two, people see right through it.
You're one of the few coaches that's got a chance to be on the staff of Jim and John Harbaugh. This is your first head coaching opportunity. What are the greatest lessons that you learned from each of those guys that you feel best prepared you for this opportunity?
I'm glad you asked that question. Those guys are some of the most authentic, competitive people I've ever been around. And the players know when it's real, and they love their players, and they have their players' backs, and they're willing to do whatever it takes, to put them in a position to succeed. And sometimes it's tough love, but it's telling them the truth, being respectful. They go about it two completely different ways, but they end up in the same spot.
Mike, why are your sisters, Maggie and Katie?
Well, they're just incredibly courageous people. Have had just a great effect on me. Just they're older than me. They're 4 and 6 years older than I am, and anyone with older siblings, you're always looking up to them and how they do things. But talk about people that have taken leaps of faith throughout their careers and with their families and who they are as people. And it's just it was just easy. You're just chasing them, and I love them. They're pretty awesome.
Mike, as you've risen through the ranks and accomplished all you have in such a short amount of time, what's the biggest thing you've learned that's allowed you to enjoy the success that you've had so far?
Yeah, when I hear people tell me that you've risen really fast, it just makes me a little uncomfortable because that's not really the goal. You're trying to be in the role that you are to help the team the best you can, and ultimately, as your roles and your responsibilities increase, the ability to do that is greater. So I think that's the mentality you have to have, and the more you're in this in this business and you're around these great people and the competition is so high, you realize that there's no way it can be just you. It's just, there's so much, there's so much power in the effort of the group and kind of unlocking the people around you. And so the whole goal is about empowering those folks and trying to bring the best out of them. And then ultimately, you know, as an organization, that's really where you go that's how you go far, you know, is together.
Mike, earlier you talked about being a player's coach, and many former players have described you as a player's coach. How do you hope to bring that mindset and mentality to this organization?
You know, I haven't actually heard I'm a player's coach that often, so that's a little surprising to me. But I just, like I said, I think it's about generating the relationship with them, constant communication, telling them the truth, telling them with love. And I think it's a consistency that you have to have where, again, the players will know. So they'll know whether we're consistent or not in our approach and whether we have their backs. Now, we're going to tell them the truth, and there's going to be a standard here about how we're going to play, but everybody's going to understand that from day one. And ultimately, I think where you have success is the players start to hold each other accountable as well because they understand what the standard is as well. So, but I think if you're consistent and you're honest, I think they respect that.
Mike, in 2020, you lost the Ravens, you go down to Michigan, and then you go back. Why and what did you learn from that experience to help you?
Well, talk about going through your career. I ultimately did want to be a defensive coordinator at some point, and it was a great opportunity to do that. You know, for a coach or a person that I really respected in Jim, and how he ran his program, and it just, I mean, it was the University of Michigan, you know, and that's big time football, and they were hungry to win. And what I learned when I showed up is we had some awesome people in that building, some great players. I don't know if Mike Moe's here, but Mike was part of that, and they were hungry to win, and that was an awesome experience to bring people together, generate a common goal, and just go chase it every day, and that's what we're going to do here.
Mike, what do you think guys described your philosophy as flexible and adaptable? When did that become the most important thing to you, and why is that the identity of your defense?
Well, the offense is out there too good just to run three things and just say, "Hey, we're going to beat you," you know. So philosophically, again, I think we're all in this thing together, and the players need to know that we're trying to put them in advantageous positions. So we're constantly trying to give them little margins of advantages. And if you're not doing that, then, you know, what are you doing as a coach? Whether it's through technique or fundamentals or communication or scheme. So the system that we run is built on concepts that are adjustable, and we can layer it together. And, you know, we're not going to get there overnight. It's going to be a process, you know, but we understand what that takes, and the cadence will vary, you know, based on how fast the guys can pick it up and what they can do. So it's not going to, the spirit of how we play and the principles of how we play, what you've seen on the tape in Baltimore will be the same, but I can't guarantee you the schematics will be the same here because, you know, we're not sure what we're good at yet.
Mike, obviously, you're a defensive coach, that's your specialty, but this is a quarterback-driven league.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on the state of the quarterback room, Geno Smith being under center here, and how that played into your decision to take this coaching job?
Well, we've played against Geno. He's a really good player. Pretty sure he's at the Pro Bowl right now, you know. But we're going to build around the quarterback. You got to. Just like we said on defense, we built the system around the players on defense. We're going to build it around the players on offense, and the most important player is the QB. So we'll see how the whole situation shakes out over time. But excited to get to meet those guys. Drew, I mean, I'm there. I talked to Geno briefly after our game and told him how much I respected him. Not anticipating I'd see him in 6 months or 3 months or however long it's been. But yeah, just really excited to meet the rest of the guys. You know, especially the QBs. And get to know them and kind of see what makes them tick so we can start to build the system around them.
Mike, in regards to your offensive coordinator, is it important to find somebody who has called plays in the NFL? Does that even matter on the list of things that you want from an OC?
It's not near the top of the list. We're looking for the right person to come in here and build this thing. So we want someone that's open-minded, that has a growth mindset, that can connect with their players, and build a system, that's unique to the Seattle Seahawks. That's going to live here for a long time, and he's going to be the one spearheading it.
Mike, how close were you to taking that job at KPMG? I mean, is that kind of...
Well, I initially signed the letter, and then didn't feel right when I did it, but I did sign it, and then when you know the story, but when Baltimore called, I called the recruiter and said, thanks, but no thanks. She goes, you realize you can't work at KPMG anymore, right? And I was like, I think I'm okay with that.
Mike, where do things stand on staff?
What was the question?
Where do things stand on hiring coordinators?
Well, I mean, this is a funny story. We met everybody initially in the in the entryway yesterday. We literally walked upstairs and we went to work on staffing. So
He hasn't even been on a tour yet.
yeah, I couldn't tell you where the indoor is. So that's full disclosure. Locker room, I got no chance.
Mike, what do you think is going to be the biggest challenge for you taking on a head coaching responsibility, the added duties that come with that and making this transition up the ladder?
There's going to be a lot of challenges. I mean, we're going to have adversity, and what's the biggest one? I can't answer that, but I just know that if we're going to take the approach we have every day and attack it head on, then we'll be able to get through it.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you guys. Thanks
Thank
for coming
you.
out.